Oh, yeah. I saw this. This was in Ceylon. There's a human rights organization that was founded by the slain journalist Jamal Khashoggi. And that organization is called Democracy for the Arab World Now. That's the name of the group. Khashoggi had put that group together before he was executed and chopped into pieces by Mohammed bin Salman, the crown prince of Saudi Arabia. Well, now it turns out that this group is calling on Congress and the Justice Department to investigate Trump's business deals with a golfing company owned by the Saudi Arabian government and controlled by bin Salman. The human rights group said that LIV Golf, that's the name of the company, that's a tournament franchise, and it's a rival now of the PGA because PGA canceled some engagements at the Filthy Pigs golf clubs. So the Filthy Pig, Donald Trump, paired himself off with a murderer like bin Salman and put together the LIV Golf. Anyway, LIV Golf, according to this nonprofit, paid Trump-owned golf resorts, quote, unknown millions of dollars, end quote, to host these events that this organization run by the murderer bin Salman was putting on. And recent court proceedings, according to Ceylon, revealed that Saudi Arabia's public investment fund, that is their sovereign fund, the money that the government can use, that's chaired by bin Salman, but that fund owns 93% of LIV Golf and pays, quote, 100% of the costs associated with the events, end quote. So you see what's going on here. Trump, because of the filth that comprises this subhuman man, associates himself, does business with, takes money from murderers, people who want to overthrow the government, people who have no problem ordering the killing and dismemberment of a journalist. I mean, if anything speaks volumes about the horrendous nature of Donald Trump, the fact that he is a soulless vampire who doesn't give a shit about anything, especially not human life, this should make it clear. The executive director of Democracy for the Arab World Now, it's called DAWN. That's the acronym, DAWN. The executive director is a woman named Sarah Leah Whitson. She said in a statement recently, quote, the revelation that a fund controlled by Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman actually owns almost all of LIV Golf means that bin Salman has been paying Donald Trump unknown millions of dollars for the past 2 years via their mutual corporate covers. Corporate covers, I like that. That's where they hide money, where they hide their filthy dealings, where they hide their murderous attitudes. This statement from the executive director went on, quote, if Trump or his agents discussed any deals with LIV Golf or the Crown Prince while Trump was still in office, a criminal investigation would also be in order because federal law strictly prohibits this sort of business dealing by sitting federal officials with foreign governments, end quote. Okay, that's a statement for public consumption, obviously, because, you know, the word that doesn't belong there is the first word. If Trump discussed deals with this murderer while he was a president, if Trump was president for one reason, so that he could use the presidency to enrich his filthy, stinking family, to enrich himself, to destabilize the government of this country and as many foreign governments as he possibly could, to play footsies with the sewer rats on the Fox sewer. I mean, Trump was no more willing, able, or qualified to be president than make up a character. I mean, how about Kanye West? How about Marjorie Taylor Greene? I mean, Trump had no business being there. But there he was, because he tapped into racism, anti-Semitism, an emotional, psychological, and mental sickness in this country that is just shocking. I mean, well, I don't know how else to put it. And also, there was a $1 billion investment in a private equity fund owned by Trump's former Treasury Secretary, Steven Mnuchin. Remember that filthy bastard? Who stood there at the Bureau of Printing and Engraving with his old lady shortly after Trump became president. And they both had these shit-eating grins on their faces while they were holding up the sheets of, I don't know, $20 bills, $100 bills before they're sliced and diced to go into circulation. And the look on their faces was just horrifying for anybody. But for the Secretary of the Treasury? Anyway, back to Ms. Whitson, the executive director of Dawn, Sarah Leah Whitson. She said, quote, "The Justice Department and Congress have a responsibility to investigate exactly when and to whom and under what terms Trump has gotten millions of dollars from Saudi government coffers controlled by Mohammed bin Salman, which may well, those contributions may well violate even our existing weak ethics laws." She added, quote, "Given that Trump is also planning to run again for president, his business ties to Mohammed bin Salman are a national security emergency," end quote. Jesus Christ. I mean, it doesn't stop. It's just endless. The grift, the corruption, the lies, the destruction that's being done to the few remaining people on this planet, and the numbers are getting smaller, who believe that democracy and self-governance and equality under law and respect for everybody, regardless of color or race or ethnic background. The people who still believe that, their numbers are getting smaller. Oh, no. There's still hundreds of millions of people who believe that, I'm sure. But the numbers are getting smaller to our peril. Hi, Truth Seekers. Mike Malloy here. You know, the Progressive Voices Network brings you commercial-free commentary from today's leading progressive radio hosts and pundits, like me, Mike Malloy, 24 hours a day. I'm not your typical old guy from the 80s or the 90s talk radio host, and Progressive Voices is not your typical talk radio network. It's a listener-supported nonprofit with no corporate control whatsoever over our broadcast. So hosts like me, Mike Malloy, are free to rant and scream and carry on about whatever we like. We're often controversial, but we're never boring. Weeknights, 9 p.m. in the East, 6 p.m. in the West on the Progressive Voices Network. Always progressive, always on. I'm Mike Malloy. Keep it lit.